Badger fans, I'm excited for this one. We have a big-time 24 commit coming to the show, talk about his game, what Madison is going to be like for him, hopefully, what his goals are, all that and more on today's Locked On Badgers. Let's go.
You are Locked On Badgers, your daily podcast on the Wisconsin Badgers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, Badger fans? Welcome to another episode of Locked On Badgers. I'm your host, Ryan Herrings. As always, thank you so much for making this one of your first listens every single day. And with a great guest, man, we don't waste any time. We just get into it. We got Dilin Jones coming on the show, 2024 four-star running back coming out of Our Lady of Good Counsel. I want to start here, Dilin. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time. But more importantly, congrats on the state title. How does that feel to win a state title?
It was. I was speechless. The game was great. It was a close game, 7-0. All game. We got the first touchdown during first quarter. After that, it was just a defensive game.
Who scored that touchdown?
I did.
So what was that like after the game? How long does that? Because athletes always talk about the buzz of a big win. How long does the buzz of a state champ? Do you still got that buzz?
We still talking about it right now to this time, exactly right now.
Where'd you guys go out to celebrate?
We didn't celebrate yet, but we planning something because Thanksgiving, a lot of people going out of town, so we know for sure when we come back, we're gonna plan something to do.
So talk about one more with that state championship game. You guys score the first touchdown, first quarter, you go up 7-0. What did the opposing defense do to kind of keep you guys under wraps? Because there's other weapons on your offense. I've talked to your head coach before. How did they kind of keep you guys reined in a little bit here?
It was really because of the rain. We wasn't able to pass the ball, no play action. So it was really just like a run-stopping game. They had to do an all-out blitz, try to stop the run. And then we try to pass the ball, but it's too wet. Receivers wasn't really able to catch it or get the ball off. So
that's tough, man. What did you improve upon most this senior year?
I really say flexibility because really I had tight hips, but then I got more flexible and I was able to read gaps better and work on my cuts.
How did you work on those? Like, is that something into this year you said, I want to get better at reading my cuts? And then what did you actually do to get better at that? What kind of drills or practice did you do to work on those things?
I did yoga and I had a trainer. I used to go to him in Baltimore every Sunday. So I trained with my trainer, PJ.
I feel like that's one thing people don't always, and I talk to the other recruits about this. How much time outside of your football game do you put into your craft in the weight room, working with trainers, yoga, film study? Like how much do you put in a week, do you think?
It's almost 48 hours a week. I'm doing this way more than what I'm playing. So,
and then coming to Madison, a bunch of questions with what drew you to Madison, what made you commit to Wisconsin. I want to start with, how does it feel when somebody says Dilin Jones, Wisconsin Badgers commit?
Feel great. They RBU, and then me being a running back, a part of that, it just feels special.
So a lot of questions, and I want to just throw one of them up here. I mentioned we had a lot of people that had questions. This is from Caleb. He wanted to ask, hey, Dilin, how does it feel following in the footsteps of Melvin Gordon, Corey Clement, Jonathan Taylor, Braelon Allen, and I could throw James White and others in there. Yeah. How does that feel?
It's an honor. I feel like I got to fill in some big shoes, and I just got to keep doing what I've been doing.
Does that put more pressure on you, do you think?
Kind of, but I feel like I can definitely do it, so I'm not really nervous or anything.
And then do you have a favorite out of that group? That's another question we had from the deputy over on our Discord. He said, do you have a favorite? Have you watched film on those previous guys? Or any of those stick out to you as your favorite Wisconsin back?
I got to go with Braelon Allen. He reminded me of like a Derrick Henry back. And Derrick Henry was somebody I always looked up to.
Well, who do you maybe who else do you model your game after? Is it kind of Derrick Henry? Is that kind of that physicality? Because he's kind of a unique one-off guy.
Yeah, I say Derrick Henry or like a Rashad White. And
then Braelon just had that big game against Nebraska, not 100%, 2 touchdowns, scores the game. Like that's a great. I mean, that's a type of performance and impact you can have in Madison. Do you see yourself as a freshman? And that's another question we got a lot. What are your goals as a freshman coming into Madison?
I want a 1,000-yard season. I want a 1,000-yard season my freshman year, and I think I could definitely do and make a big impact.
Okay, that's a heck of a goal, man. What about your game makes you different from other running backs?
I feel like I have a lot of explosive plays, and I can really break one 40-yard, 50-yard touchdowns, and I can get it done on goal line too.
Let me ask you something, because when I watch film on you, and I have Brian Smith on who does a lot of recruiting breakdowns too, the thing we both said watching you, I'm curious what your take on it is incredibly smooth. It looks
Yeah.
like you have no wasted motion. You're just incredibly smooth between the tackles. Is that something you've always had, or is that something you've really worked to develop?
I feel like it's something I were to develop because I used to play fullback. So like I used to play fullback. I played defense, so I know everything the defense is doing, and I know all the blocks and how they're going to block it. So I feel like in between the line and the tackles, I definitely know where to go.
Yeah. And what about from a pass protection standpoint? Is that something that you feel like you're going to need to work on coming into more of a Big Ten college environment?
I feel like yeah, but I think I got the pass protection down pat. I haven't let up a sack ever since I've been in high school, so I think I got it down.
And does that come partially? You used to play fullback, like that's got to have that physicality and that blocking ability of fullback. That has to translate into that part of your game.
Yeah, our coach don't even let us run the ball if we can't pass block. So I feel like me playing fullback and then me wrestling that helped out a lot with the pass blocking.
Well, and I want to touch on it because I had your head coach on the show before the season, kind of talk about your game. And I mentioned to him Wisconsin has a couple running backs coming in his class. And it's kind of unusual sometimes to have a group like that that is okay with the competition. He said specifically that you were a different type of player in that you were all about the team. And last year you
Yeah.
had to share the ball a lot. Is that as a running back now, is it almost better to have a couple other guys in your running back room where you're not necessarily needed to take the ball 40 times?
I think so because it saves your body, and I feel like NFL would look at that if you taking a whole lot of 30 carries a game and they see that you're worn out, they're not going to want you as somebody taking 20 carries, 15 carries a game.
Now, that's easy to say, but what about in the fourth quarter when you've had 20 carries? You want another 10, don't you?
For sure, but it saves your body. But then I feel like fourth quarter they really need you, they're gonna give it to you.
All right, so talk to me about one of the big things in Coach Longo's offense, this modern college football offense. You got to be able to catch the ball, right? You got to be able to be multiple. Where have you grown as a receiver coming out of the backfield?
I feel like 7-on-7 helped out a lot. And I feel like that helped them with my routes. I've been training routes and footwork, all types of drills like that, working with tennis balls. I feel like it play a big point. If you can't be like a one style back, you can't be only able to run the ball. You gotta be able to go out the backfield and catch it.
And then what's the tennis ball work? Explain to me what we're doing there.
I feel like because every practice, our coach he'll make us go catch tennis balls and then switch it to footballs. Well, we got small to the balls. We put it on our palm, make it harder to grip the ball. I feel like that help out a lot for hand and eye coordination and to squeeze the ball when you catch it.
And what's the biggest part of growth that you still think you have for your game? So you talked a lot about this season, working on reading your cuts better, being a little quicker on those reads. Where are you still growing? What do you think the biggest jump for you is from now to when you get to Madison?
I feel like putting weight on, get a little bigger and getting ready for the college level.
What are you at right now?
Right now I'm at 190.
Okay, and you're about 5'11".
Yeah, 5'11", 6 foot.
What is your ideal weight? Do you think what is the perfect weight for you as a running back at the college level?
I think 200, 205.
Okay, and then last kind of question here: you won the state title. Was there anything else from your high school career that either you accomplished that you're really proud of, or something that you're like, I didn't quite hit that goal?
Uh, Something I was proud of was getting offensive player of the year last year and the year before, and I'm trying to see if I get it this year, hopefully. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
hoping for a repeat, and then for my past 3 years starting, I had one fumble, so I think I'm proud of that.
Is that something? So one fumble, that's incredibly important, right? Obviously, ball security. Is that something that gets drilled into you? Because again, talking to your head coach, that is a fundamental program. Blocking, doing what you need to do. That seems like something that's worked on all the time, probably.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you can't even run the ball without securing the ball, so I feel like ball security is probably number one thing.
What happened on that one fumble?
It was the game we just had. It was slippery. Someone hit it and it came out.
That's awesome. Oh, and one fumble is incredible, though, man. All right, we're going to come back with Dilin Jones, 2024 running back committed for the University of Wisconsin. A bunch of questions. We're going to get into your questions that you had for Dilin coming up next on Locked On Badgers. But first, a quick break for our friends of the show. Also, a quick break to say thank you to everybody tuning in. Thank you for making this your first listen every day. If you want to come join us on the subtext, you got the first jump on questions coming to Dilin. This is a great opportunity to go do that. All the information is down below. And let's get right back into our conversation with Dilin Jones. Dilin, I do want to give you an opportunity. I have your Twitter on here at Dilin Jones. Is there anywhere else people can follow you? Anything else you have going on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at Dilin Jones.
And which one do you put most on?
I say Instagram.
Okay, so make sure you go follow Dylan, cheer along on the journey. Let's get in some questions. So we had a lot of people submit questions. This is from 1959. He said, first of all, what drew you to Wisconsin? This is kind of a two-part question. What was the first thing that drew you to Wisconsin?
I gotta say the recruiter Max, probably one of the best people I ever met. And then me coming on my visit, I was able to see all the running backs, and then the biggest O lineman I probably ever seen in my life.
That's awesome. There's a lot of big dudes in Wisconsin, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to me about Max Steinecker first. What makes him different as a recruiter? Because you were recruited you had like 40 offers, so there was no shortage of people recruiting you. What made him different?
Max, he seemed like it felt like when I first met him, it felt like I knew him for 5 years. He came up, he was excited, he always had energy. I'm able to talk to him every day. I talk to him probably more than anybody else. He was the coolest person I met.
That's awesome. Here's a question with recruiting, because I'm always curious about this. You are, if you look at the 247 composite, a 4-star running back, one of the top running backs in the country. How much do you look at recruiting rankings? Do you look at the players ahead of you and say, I know I'm better than those dudes, or do you just not pay attention to that stuff at all?
I don't really look at it unless like when they post and tag me, but other than that, I don't really look.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
This is from, let's see. Oh, the second part of this was, and I think we already talked about this a little bit, but he also again asked, how excited are you about the other running backs coming in? And more, what do you know about their games, Dupree and Atuka?
I know more about Atuka. He played with Maryland Heat back when I played against him. He's a power back. He's strong, fast. He got it. And then I like that the other runners back come in because I get to learn from them. And then it gives the competition.
I love that. This one, and we talked about your freshman goals. This is from Caleb. But he also wants to maybe specifically, what are you going to be doing in this offseason to prepare for Madison? You said you want to put on weight. Is that really the goal, just get in the weight room?
Get in the weight room, and then I was going to wrestle again, and then yoga, and add more flexibility.
How does wrestling help you as a running back?
I feel like it helped out a lot with contact balance. Like when I get hit, I'm able to bounce off tackles, and then I think it helps with just being way more aggressive, more physical.
You know Coach Fickle, you know his wrestling background, right?
Yeah, he was great.
You think you could take him? Like he's a little older.
I don't think I can get him.
Okay. This is from Ryan. He wants to know a little more about Coach Spalding. What's Coach Spalding like?
I feel like he's probably one of the best coaches to do it right now. He's young and he played running back as well. And I feel like he could show a lot of drills that he did as his high school and college career. And he's able to do them with you because as a young coach.
This one is JB had a couple questions. JB also wanted to say, this is from our Discord. He wanted to say thank you for the time. He said you are his favorite recruit in the class. That's from JB. He said, do you talk regularly? Any of the other guys in this 24 class, who are you maybe communicating with? Who are you close with?
I'd probably say Amelia.
That dude is a talented defensive back, man.
He's probably one of the best DBs I've seen.
Yeah, he's really good. Badger fans are excited about him. JB also would like to know, what do you think of the offensive system? What have you had in terms of what you think your role is going to be in the system, and how excited are you for that?
I'm excited. I think we got probably one of the best offensive coordinators coming in. Well, he's in for the first time. He's doing great. And then I feel like my role is to play back, be able to come out the backfield, make catches and explosive plays.
Yeah, we could use some of that, man. This is another question here. And we already kind of talked about this one, but I feel like being a 4-star running back, you don't really feel that pressure. This is from Hooger, kind of asking what is that pressure maybe like as a 4-star running back, one of the highest running back recruits in Wisconsin history?
I feel like I just got to lead up to it. I got to make sure I do what I got to do to lead up to expectations and keep balling out.
This one is just from 19th Warrior. Just says, make sure Dylan knows how excited the fans are going to be that he's going to be a Badger. So people are stoked for it, man. I want to kind of get into this. Is there a team you're most excited to play in the Big Ten? You got Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, USC, Washington, Oregon. Is there somebody you're really saying, I can't wait to play that team?
I probably go with I say Maryland.
That's a great one. I should have said Maryland.
I'm gonna say Maryland. It's gonna be a great game, and then it's my hometown, so I know it's gonna be exciting.
What's the fams vibe on Wisconsin when you went out there, when you came back, when you were excited about it? How did your kind of inner circle feel about you committing to the Badgers?
I feel like it's great. I say we probably have one of the best fan base when the day I committed, I got probably about 400 texts from everybody. They be posting it, all Wisconsin fans. It was great.
What's it feel like? Because very few people will ever kind of understand the shoes that high-level recruits walk in. What's it feel like as a high school player to have that level of social media attention? How do you shut that off if you want to, and how do you not let that go to your head?
Really, I put my phone on do not disturb a lot. And I really especially during the season, I really just ignore it. I just play ball, talk to my coaches, and talk to players on my team. We don't even really talk about our colleges until after the season or before summer workouts, where we think we might go to. But other than that, I really don't like texting back a lot. The only person I was really talking to was Max. I
That's
didn't really
awesome.
talk to no other people for real.
And certainly not asking for, and if you have nothing, it's no worries on this one, but I usually try to ask this, and not asking for any names or colleges, but is there some weird pitch or some weird recruiting thing? Somebody's like, hey, come here and you'll get like a refrigerator. Like, I've heard crazy stories, right? What's the weirdest recruiting thing that came your way?
I'd probably say a Lambo truck.
Yeah, those are
nice. I know.
And the last question here, because this is another one. A lot of people, a Lambo truck? Gosh, those are nice. What was your impression of Madison when you first got there? Because a lot of people expect almost for cows and farms, and then they get there and say Madison is great. What was Madison to you?
That's exactly what I was about to say. I was expecting cows, farms, the middle of nowhere. I came out there, I seen the nice lakes. The weather was great, the sunlight. And then it felt like I was in the city. I was right next to the Capitol. Remind me of when I go off DC. Mm-hmm. The restaurants was amazing. It was way, way better than I thought.
So you can see yourself there for a couple of years.
Definitely.
All right, we have take one more quick break. Then we're going to finish off this awesome interview with Dilin. Ask him what his EA Sports ratings are going to be when the college game drops out. Speed, power, agility, acceleration. I can't wait to get into it and finish up with a rapid fire question. One more quick break for our good friends of the show, and then we're going to get right back to Dilin Jones. Thank you again for tuning in to Locked On Badgers. Thank you for helping us build this community. It's incredible. And because of you, we're able to get incredible people like Dilin on the show. And I'm excited to continue building it. All right, let's get back into our interview with Dilin Jones. Dilin, we mentioned before the show, you are a gamer. You're going to be in the college football game when EA Sports releases it, which I think is incredible. I want to get you through the rankings, see where you think you'll rate out. We do this with everybody that comes on the show. But first, are you just going to play as Wisconsin and give yourself 45 touches?
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably run the ball with me every play. Probably use Wisconsin all the time. I might switch it up sometimes. Probably use teams that my friends went to. But I'm most definitely going to give me the ball probably 50 times.
You could be a Wildcat quarterback too.
I'm going to switch it all up. I might move me to receiver and do everything.
That's awesome. All right, really quick. This is more rapid fire. I'm going to ask you for a category. You give me what your EA ranking should be. You ready?
Okay.
Speed.
95.
Power.
I'm going to give it 92.
Acceleration.
90.
I love this. Agility.
96.
Hands.
87.
Tackle breaking.
99.
That's a 4-star running back right there. I love it. This isn't really a category, but how would you define your leadership?
I really say I go out on the field and show it. I don't really talk as much, but I definitely, when it comes down to it, I talk. But I feel like I go out on the field and show it way more than I communicate it.
Who's a leader that you look up to? Like somebody that you've really either grown from or pulled stuff down from?
I say we had a running back at our school named Sean and LeJay. I looked up to them. They talked. And then Aaron Childs, our middle linebacker, he talks a lot. He communicates with everybody. He's a great leader.
Are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Yes, sir.
Academic goal at Wisconsin. What are you interested in?
I'm really trying to look at business, or I'm thinking about sports and medicine.
Okay, that's awesome. 4 years from now, 3 years, whatever it is, when your athletic career wraps up at Wisconsin, what is something you hope to have accomplished?
I want to start a trucking company.
That's awesome. Where does that come from? Just out of curiosity, that's awesome.
I see like a lot of truckers doing it, and then like sometimes when I be on TikTok, I see a lot of people saying how they trying to start a company, and I think that's just something I really wanted to do.
That's so cool. Like, would you want to drive too, or do you just want to run the operation side of it?
I feel like I want to drive for probably like a year, and then I just want to do the rest, just the operation side of it.
That's incredible, man. What is your worst, speaking of school, what is your worst subject in school?
Worst subject, probably math.
That's mine too. Favorite comfort food?
Buffalo wings.
Same. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, next Friday.
Worst game you've ever played at any level? What's the worst game you think you've ever played?
Worst game. Oh, that's a good one. I'll probably go with 2K24. I don't like it.
What's if you got in a fight for whatever reason, and let's say you weren't obviously at fault or whatever, but you got in a fight, who's one person that you know that you would want on your side?
One person I want to, like anybody in the world?
Well, anybody that you know. It has to be somebody you know.
Okay. Aaron Childs.
That's a good one. Middle linebacker.
Yeah.
What's a hidden talent that you have outside of football?
Hidden talent. I'd probably say wrestling.
That's awesome. And last one here. Two more. Sorry. Shout out. Anybody you want to give a shout out while you're on the show?
I like to shout out my dad, my coach, Andrew Stefanelli, my wrestling coach, Coach Saw, running back coach, Coach Alley, and really just the whole GC.
And last one here. What is your message for Badger fans? You're coming to Madison. What's your message for Badger fans that are going to watch this?
I got big impact coming soon.
I love it, man. He is Dilin Jones. Thank you so much for tuning in. People are going to love this show. Go follow him at Dilin Jones on Instagram and Twitter. Dilin, thank you again for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.